All right, everyone. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to take this completed digital illustration and put it in a format that is that's more useful for what I do in my case. Okay. Now, since I talked to you guys last time, one thing I did do on this is I took the letter fill of the logo and merged that down with the background, so the logo is all in one piece. Okay. Um, Now, notice too that even though this painting is done, I still have everything in all these different layers. Okay, that's important because I might need to move stuff around for printing purposes. Okay, so in this case, what I'm going to do is I need to put this completed thing on this template here. Now you can see from this template, it is 7 inches wide by 7 inches wide by 10.5 inches high, whereas my original is 11 by 17. Okay, when you've got something like that, that's that big of a difference, you need to have stuff on separate layers so you can adjust. All right, so let's go ahead and then move this stuff over. Now, the easiest way to do this, you don't want to just copy and paste all this stuff because what that will do is that will merge all of your layers together. Okay, it'd be like a copy merge and you just drop it over there, but then you're not able to move stuff around. I need stuff to be on different layers. So what we want to do, the easiest way to do this, in my opinion, we got our template here. Oh, this is by Kablam Printing, by the way. They're a publisher that I've used a few times. They specialize in comics. What I need to do is basically move the stuff over from this to there. So I'm going to grab this here, pop this down. So this window is disconnected from the other window. And then I'm going to grab, first off, the top layer here, which is signature, right down to the bottom layer, which is small circle right. And I'm going to just put those, boom, right here in this document. All right, once I've got that done, I'm going to put this back up here out of the way. And, I might even think about closing it up because I don't want to accidentally click on it and mess it up or something like that. I usually wouldn't do that, but, you never can tell. So let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and close that out. All right, now you can see here that everything's way out of size. It's out of whack. Okay, and so we need to fix that. Plus, there's also not that nice white background we had before. Now, while this is all still selected, notice that all these layers are still selected. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do an edit. I'll either do a free transform or a transform scale. Transform scale actually works pretty good. You can, make sure that you have that is linked so everything's constrained. And in this case, let's say about 69% and see where that takes us. Let's move it a little bit. Everything's still selected. Okay, it's getting there, but it needs to be a little bit smaller still. Because this right here, in case you haven't noticed, this is our trim line right here, so absolutely nothing can be beyond that. And then there's the margin area, okay, which stuff can be beyond it, but it's better if it isn't. So let's do another free transform this time. Everything's still selected. And let's just take the size down a little bit more. A little bit more. What I'm actually looking at is the logo, and I want it to be within the margin area. Okay, like so. There, that just about does it. Now you'll notice that that my guy here, there's a bit of a gap there, which I don't want. But again, that's why we use different layers, because I still have all my layers here. So let's go ahead and I'm going to move him down, move the whole thing down just a little bit. And I'll probably wind up moving the logo up just a touch. All right. So yeah, if this bottom part of his leg gets cut off, not a big deal. Actually, this guy's elbow probably won't get cut off, but I might have to move him over Better be safe than sorry. Now let's ungrab all of these. And first off, the first thing I want to do now that it's sized down is put that white background back in. So let's go ahead and we'll add a new layer. We'll call that background color. Okay, and then let's just take our paint bucket and plop. There we go. So now we've got a smaller version of our painting. Okay, and because it's on different layers, I can move stuff around if I need to. Okay, let's say I do want to make sure this guy's elbow is okay. He's on a separate layer from the main character, so we can just kind of nudge them over a little bit, make sure they're well within the thing. Actually, let's move the main character over a little bit as well. Had a little tangent going there, which I didn't like. Something like that. And then, for that matter, we can move the diva over a little bit too. And again, don't want to have any tangents there. I actually like having a little bit of daylight between her and the doctor, but not so much that it creates a tangent. For that matter too, if I'm worried about this little circle here, let's see, that would be a small circle right. I can pop that over. See, optically, it doesn't make a whole lot of difference. It still looks like the same painting, but things are well within the margins. Okay, so that's kind of the nice part about having stuff on separate layers. Okay. Oh, another thing I'm probably going to do too, my pencils layer is still in there, which I don't need. So let's just get rid of that. Okay, so now it's just the stuff we need. Let's see. Yeah, all looks okay. Now I need to add some minor other little things. I had a logo that I created for self-publishing a while back. I'm not sure if this is going to work all that well or not, but it's kind of the thing that you have to do when you're designing these sorts of things. So let's go ahead and I'm actually going to grab one part at a time because I want to keep them separate from each other. So let's grab the first part, Red House Books. It's actually named after my own house because it is red and it is shaped like that. And let's go ahead and copy that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop it here. Let's go underneath the Dr. Nocturnal logo. It's going to be really big, by the way. So let's paste it. And let's do a free transform. Take the size down. We'll have to put it somewhere. Could put there, could put it here, somewhere, or I could even put it, down here or something like that. Actually, some people do that. Some new publishers will have their logo down at the bottom and then a price at the top or something. Yeah, that might not be a bad idea. Let's think about that. Let's take the signature and we'll move that over here. Gotta have my signature on there. And then let's take actually I'm gonna rename that so I know what it is. Red House logo. And let's put that right here. Okay, that's not too bad. I kind of like that. It doesn't get in the way of the logo or anything. All right, and next let's grab this part. Got to have a price on there, and we'll copy that, and we'll paste, and let's call this price tag. And let's go ahead and make that the right size too. So let's go free transform. And I'm going to put this right on top of the Red House book thing because I want it to be the same width. Now I might have to zoom in there a little bit to make sure that's the right size. So let's put that right there. Hit free transform again. Let's see, does that look about right? Perfect. Now, because it's on a separate layer, much like the other stuff, I could put it up here or up here, you know, whatever I feel like. Okay, or I could just keep them together and just, you know, switch them around. As a matter of fact, we can take our characters here. Let's take the diva and let's move her up slightly. Something like that. That still looks okay. And if we want to, we can even make our main character just a little bit bigger. This goes back into kind of nice thing about having things on separate layers. You can adjust them and whatnot. So now what I can do is I can take my Dr. Nocturnal logo and put that behind Dr. Nocturnal so he's actually sort of in front of it like that. That's kind of cool. Or I also could, if I didn't want to do that, undo. I could just take the logo and move that up a little bit so it fills the space. Okay. All right. I think that about does it. I kind of like that. Okay. Now, of course, if you're doing just a regular painting, and it's not meant for eventual publication in a, you know, comic book or something like that, or a, you know, or a, you know, something like this, you don't have to worry about this sort of thing. But it is important if you are working as an illustrator, let's say, that you do keep things on separate layers like this, so you can make changes and alterations to fit the needs of a client. Um, you know, I can still keep adjustments like my big circle here that's got the uh, the disco ball in it. You know, if I want to move that, now I can move that up a little bit. Actually, I kind of like that better. There, now it's completely centered. That's pretty cool. Yeah, there we go. And, you know, another thing I do too is say I want my signature bigger. There we go. Nice big signature. Of course, you don't have to be too much of an eyesore. So, yeah, let's, all right. And the last thing to do, I've got my trademark, I got my signature, got my pricing here, would be to do a save as. Okay, save as. There we go. Sorry, I was saving it. I hit the wrong thing by mistake. It's not that big of a deal. Okay, come on. Now I'll do a save as. When I'm done, I'll have to just clear this stuff off and keep my template pristine. But first, let's find the right thing. Dr. Nocturnal. And this is cover issue 1. Now you probably have your own way of classifying things and all that. That's fine. I always If it says sized, I know it's the right size, taken down to the correct size. Okay, so let's get rid of that. No. And okay, we're done. This thing is, once I flatten this thing down and save it as a PDF, it would be ready to go to a printer. Okay, that's the last thing we had to do. All right, well, I hope you guys have had fun working on various projects this semester. You know, these digital paintings. I actually enjoy doing digital paintings quite a bit. I think that's probably pretty obvious. Love this stuff. And I really hope that you were able to create some pieces that you like and you want to include in your portfolio. And you know, I hope that you continue experimenting and playing around in Photoshop, seeing all the stuff that it can do, not just with photos, but with with art. All right, I'll talk to you guys later.